I'm the Marvelous Mary.
And I'm not.
And we are going to be doing a tier list video today.
What kind of tier list video?
A Christmas tier list video.
Ta-da.
If you couldn't tell,
Yep.
there are ugly Christmas sweaters. They're not ugly. They're very cute.
They are specifically designed to be ugly, which defeats the purpose of ugly.
It's a little bit different than how we did it last time. This one is Christmas movies, and like Christmas movies that we feel like, you know, we have to watch every year, or not. And so we each filled it out, how we think, or what we think the list should be for best Christmas movies and not Christmas movies. And then we're going to look at both of our lists. I feel like we're going to have a lot of similar ones. And then I think there's going to be like maybe 2 or 3 that we do not agree on at all. And I already know which ones they are.
And that's okay. That's okay.
The top tier is, I don't remember what we labeled them.
Maximum Christmas.
Maximum Christmas. And it's, for me, that was like, I have to watch this movie every Christmas. If I miss seeing this movie,
It'll be a different Christmas.
It's a different Christmas. It doesn't feel the same. Like, Christmas movies are my favorite. I like all of the holidays and whatever. But like Christmas movies, I love Christmas. Christmas is my jam. So yeah, top tier is you have to watch that movie for Christmas or it's just not quite the same.
The second tier down
is a longer one and it's cute though.
Yeah, it's the smell of a Christmas tree while you sit by the fire drinking hot chocolate.
Yeah. And I like for that one is all, like
it's
those are still important. Yeah, those are still important.
Still really
Christmas movies. Like I'm definitely gonna watch them, but like if I watch them later on in the season or if I watch them, in November, I still feel good about it.
And then after that, we have this one was inspired by me. A mall Santa that knocks out your worst enemy and then runs away, perhaps singing Christmas songs as he does it.
At least going, ho, 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 ho.
Yes, because like that if that were to happen, like that's not the best Christmas ever, but it's memorable.
You're gonna remember it.
Yeah, that is definitely a Christmas that you're never gonna forget. You will tell your kids about that. And
like at least it was your enemy.
And yeah,
so that's still positive.
Yeah, they get knocked the F out. You don't get brought up on assault charges.
Nope. All still a good
win-win.
Christmas.
And then my personal favorite one after that is room temperature eggnog, where you're like, this is fine.
This is fine. I'll still watch it.
I wish I was doing something else.
Or like I can do something else.
Or yeah, like
I can wrap Christmas presents to this.
I wish I had regular temperature eggnog.
Yeah.
What was after that?
Eggnog. Is it Bah Humbug after
yeah.
that?
Yeah, Bah Humbug is after that, where it's just like
Like, it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie, yeah. But between that and like Maximum Christmas, I'd rather watch the Maximum Christmas.
I would rather rewatch the Maximum Christmas.
Yes, and then we have Christmas is Canceled, where it's just like I don't care for these really.
Yeah, like
at
I
all.
don't care to watch it.
If we
even
watch
if it's
them,
a Christmas movie.
Yeah, even if we watch it, it's like I don't feel bad doing something else because, well, and to be truthful, like we've seen all these like a million times.
Yeah. Like I know most of these.
Okay.
Heart.
Are you ready?
And then there's I don't know it. Like if we haven't seen it or it's been.
Yeah. If it's been a long time since we've seen it and been like, I don't really,
or we haven't seen it.
It'll just go into the like I haven't seen it section, just to try and be completely fair. Yeah. All right, let's see how this worked out. Where's the thing? Okay, I'm seeing a shit ton that's the same.
Yeah, lots of very similar things.
I see where it's different though too. Okay.
So let's just start at the top tier, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or do you want to start at the bottom?
I kind of want to start at the bottom.
Okay, let's start at the bottom.
Let's start at the bottom. Let's get the worst stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a longer Christmas is Canceled. Oh boy.
So I mean, I've never seen those those movies at the bottom. I've never seen Fred Claus or Bad Santa or
Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, I've never
Oh, that's
seen
super
that.
good.
And I've never seen the
Joyous Noel.
Yeah, I've never seen that
we'll talk
either.
about that when we get it online.
Yeah, I've never seen those. So
Did you put Christmas? No, never mind. That's a bad question.
What?
I want to make it clear. We both chose 8 Crazy Nights for Christmas is Canceled. Mm-hmm. That's not because it's about Hanukkah.
No, I just like
or anything like that. It's just a bad movie.
It's just a bad movie.
It's really ugly and gross and juvenile, and it's an Adam Sandler movie.
I mean, yeah. So you get what you get.
There's one good joke in that whole movie.
I've only seen it one time, and I did not enjoy myself.
Adam Sandler, because he always does the voice, so they make a whole character for it, and he's talking about how cool it is to shop at the mall on Christmas, and he's rhyming all the different stores, and there's Christmas music in the background. It's all fanciful, and then the music dies, and Adam Sandler's character the one he's actually supposed to be portraying, he says, "Did you have that prepared ahead of time, or did you just rhyme that many times in a row on accident?" And the old man looks and goes, "Yeah, that was kind of weird, wasn't it?" And then they just never address it again. I'm like, okay, that was one
funny,
good
but,
joke.
Like,
that was
whole,
one
hour and a half.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like,
that movie is absolute trash. If I had the opportunity to destroy a physical copy of that disc, you better believe I'd take it.
Yeah.
And then what's this other one that you have on the Christmas is Canceled list?
Die Hard. And don't get me wrong, I like Die Hard the movie. It is a fine movie, but it is not a Christmas movie. Just because it happens on Christmas does not make it a Christmas movie. Okay.
All right, well, as you can tell, it's not in my Christmas is Canceled section, so we'll get to my take on it.
I am a little lenient because can we just all please look where I put Gremlins? More of a Christmas movie.
Where is Gremlins?
Right there. And I don't need to watch Die Hard for Christmas. Okay. Still like Die Hard. Still a good movie.
Well, that's okay.
Alan Rickman.
So I also, when you're looking at mine, we need to keep in mind that I ordered mine from left to right in terms of the left is the best of the bunch and then the right is the absolute worst of the track.
I didn't do that. I just put them where I just put them in.
So I have 8 Crazy Nights at the best, and then I have Jack Frost.
That's fine. Like,
that movie creeps me out.
I don't it's a whatever movie for me. Like, I've seen it. It's kind of sad. Like,
and Christmas movies can be sad, but it's it doesn't leave you feeling better by the end of it.
No.
Like, a bad thing happens and it's pretty bittersweet through the whole movie.
Yeah. Like,
also that animatronic snowman
terrifying.
Is not
Definitely
great.
Terrifying.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Then I have Deck the Halls.
Yeah,
because
I don't mind Deck the Halls.
It's just like Buddy is. They're both terrible.
They're both nice
insufferable
guys.
people.
Yeah.
But like Buddy's whole thing of like, oh, I want more lights. I'm like, this is kind of a paper thin excuse for them to butt heads.
Yeah.
For me, if it started that way and then it turned into a genuine love of Christmas,
sure,
and then Matthew Broderick's character was like still trying to trample it and he turned into kind of a jerk, I could see that movie kind of working a little bit better. The first 30 minutes of the movie I always enjoy just fine, but the longer it goes, the less I enjoy it. And again, I kind of find myself doing other things.
They start off really strong, and because I don't mind Deck the Halls. It's a pretty fun movie. I like both. I like all of the people in that movie. The kids I can take or leave, but they're not really a part of it that much. So, but they start off really good, and I think they just lose what their real meaning was. Because in the movie, I think they lose what they were really trying to get at, which was Buddy wanted to do something that made him feel worthwhile, and that it made him feel stronger and happier. And because it feels like they've moved around a lot, he can't really find anything that he's truly happy doing. He feels minuscule and defeated, and he wants to do something extraordinary to he wants to make a difference, and they kind of lose that.
Yeah.
And
because camel poop.
I feel for me it really when it in the whole kind of middle section is really where it's all the antics are happening, and so that's where that kind of gets lost. and then it comes around back at the end when it's like right after the speed skating thing when Matthew Broderick's character makes that really, really harsh remark about like you'll never be anything, like you'll never like amount to anything. How does that feel? You know,
it's the kind of movie without even seeing the trailer, I just know I'm like the font, like I can already see the like white font and the zoom in like this Christmas in like bright red.
This November,
get ready,
Danny DeVito, Matthew Broderick.
And that's
to rumble.
Whoa, I didn't see that coming.
that and Christmas with the Cranks are very similar.
Which brings me to my next one, Christmas with the Cranks,
which we just watched.
Which is about, and I'm sorry, I will when I edit your video, I will censor out my own swears for your channel. It is about a fucking cult.
It is, and
these people are
super creepy.
Just because you put like wacky music over it doesn't hide the fact. I would like, there's probably already like trailer recuts to make it into like a creepy suspense thriller.
Yes, I think there was someone who did that, which was really funny.
I don't appreciate, like, look, man, just if they don't want to do Christmas for a year,
yeah, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As for me, it's not like Christmas is canceled. Like I will still watch it. It's still one of those ones. Like it's one of those ones I can throw on and like wrap gifts and stuff.
And it also, like, by the time we get to the end and the whole community pulls together to help them get Christmas together because their daughter is coming back and they don't want her to not have Christmas. They're like, oh, let's all pitch in, whatever. I'm like, well, now you're here to help them? Yeah, because they're conforming and they got what they wanted. Yeah. Oh, well, now we're more than happy to help you.
Now we're happy to help you because you're doing what we asked you to do. Because we're doing what we
asked you.
Yeah.
And then I have...
but I do like the umbrella guy. He's
really
he's
funny. Great. Yeah, he's always great.
He's really super cute.
Then Santa Claus 3. Boy, Martin Short.
I love Martin Short, and it makes me so mad because both Tim Allen and Martin Short are much better than this movie.
But boy, like sometimes you just gotta put food on the table. And also Martin Short's face on the cover.
I know, it's very scary.
Scares me away from ever trying to start that movie ever again.
I've only seen that movie maybe
terrible.
2 or 3 times. Like it's just not very good.
No, it's not. And then here's okay, well, I see where this is on your list, and I see where it is on mine.
Which one?
I have the Illuminations Grinch.
Oh, see, I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute.
I think it's toothless.
I think it's cute.
I think it's too. It's just too. A big part of it, and this is a Calebism, is the voice that Benedict's Cabbage Patch is doing. I don't like it. I like him just fine. He doesn't have to do an accent with everything. I like him as Doctor Strange. Yeah. Like, it's fine. I just don't like this, like, nasally kind of thing that he's doing. And there is actually some stuff in the movie that I like. Like, I like, kind of like with the Jim Carrey one, which we'll talk about later, how it kind of litters in there here and there that, like, he starts to, like, he actually does kind of like some of the Christmas stuff.
Yes. Yeah, like he really does. I didn't
like
mind
he gets
the
distracted.
take of it that like his whole. It's not that he hates Christmas. It's that he hates being alone and he feels like no one ever wanted him around.
Because he's the only Jewish kid in an entire town of Christians.
We can take that or leave that. But like, yeah, I was like that no one ever like wanted him there. No one ever wanted it. So I was like, I'm fine with that. And I also don't mind that he doesn't really have a relationship necessarily with like Cindy Lou Who. Whereas like,
no, he never really needed one.
No. Cindy Lou kind of has her own thing going on where she's just wants to help her mom.
Yeah,
and that's really cute.
I didn't care for that either, though.
I don't mind it. I think it's fine. Like, you know, like I was like, that's nice. It's whatever.
Like, it very much for the majority of the movie, I felt like it was the kind of thing like that you would put on for really little kids, not little kids, like really little kids, because it's bright and it's colorful and it's fast and there's a lot of stuff happening, so it keeps their attention.
Yeah.
But really, like,
Yeah.
The best part of the movie is when he's stealing Christmas.
Yeah, well,
That
and I
part's
also
fine.
like his neighbor, or like the guy who lives like just right down at the bottom of the mountain.
Like halfway between him and Whoville.
Yeah.
That was a cool idea.
I thought that was really, really cute. Where like
Who's
that's
just
the
kind of
guy
a-
who knows the Grinch the best.
Yeah, he's just kind of, but because he doesn't interact with other people, he doesn't know what the range is on who, like, is he an asshole? Is he not? Well, he doesn't have enough social interaction to gauge that. So he just thinks of the Grinch as like, hey, he's my buddy. It's
Yeah,
whatever.
he's what's up, Mr.
He has no
Grinch?"
reason to
Like,
not like him.
Yeah.
I also didn't need original narration from someone who doesn't seem to care about the movie. You're not going to beat Anthony Hopkins just because he's very
He's
charming.
very good, yeah.
He's very good. I didn't need, like, I don't know. Trying to make Dr. Seuss dialogue when you're not Dr. Seuss is a little cringy. And then I have The Bishop's Wife.
See, I like that movie just fine.
I like it too. I loved it as a kid. It was like in my top 3. But as
Yeah.
I've gotten older, I've been like, this movie's kind of preachy now.
Well, see, like so
I know it's called
put
The
it-
Bishop's Wife,
I
but
know,
whatever.
right. I put it higher up there because I actually the first time I saw it was with you.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. I had not seen it in a long time until I showed it to you, and I sat down and went, "Ooh, this movie sure likes to quote the Bible an awful lot."
It does, which usually I'm just like, I don't
There's a
care,
whole
but-
scene where they like the little kid is like helping to decorate the tree, and Cary Grant just like sits down and tells this whole long story about from the Bible. I'm like, oh my god, it's like 6 minutes he's waxing about the Bible. Like, there's some good acting and there's good dialogue in it, so that's why it's a little higher on the list. But
Yeah.
also I'm like, I don't know if I would watch it anytime soon. I would be okay not watching it for Christmas.
Yeah, like I don't need to, but like it's one of those ones where like the memories were special for me.
That's my Christmas is canceled, where I'm like,
Sure.
I would be okay not watching it this year, except for Eight Crazy Nights. That movie can jump off a cliff.
Yeah. So what's
What's-
the next one? Room temperature eggnog.
No, you have, you can't see because the camera's in the way. You have Bah Humbug. And again,
Oh yeah, Bah Humbug.
I have a much bigger list, and
Um,
this is where I'm gonna get you back for Die Hard.
I fucking suck it.
Talk about yours.
Well, for me, I just have, I have Jack Frost, which is only one up from where you had
The-
placed it,
the
because
Michael
it's just
Keaton
one of those for me where I'm like, I don't really care about it.
Mhm.
Like, it's fine. I'm sure there are people out there who like it, but I just don't. It's just like, whatever for me. Like, it doesn't make, when I think of Christmas movies, I think of like how I feel at the end of them and feeling happy and like uplifted, even if there were sad parts in there, because I have cried in many a Christmas movie. We'll talk about some of the ones going forward. However, this movie just makes me sad.
Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel not good.
Yeah, and all
like, it's very, very sad.
and the whimsical moments are supposed to be whimsical don't come off that way because of the
No.
creepy snowman.
Yes, it's just I just don't.
And the
I
bad
don't care
kid
for
actor.
it. And then this is where I also placed Santa Claus 3, or I'm just like, again, I just
Don't need to see
don't
it.
need to see it. It's one of those ones where I'm like, I don't care. And then what is that movie? My eyesight is poor. What do I have next to Santa Claus 3? Can you tell what that is?
Yeah,
What is it? I'm asking. That's all.
it's Edward Scissorhands.
Oh yeah, it's just because like I like Edward Scissorhands a lot. Like I think it's a very good movie. I own it, and I've always enjoyed it. I just don't need to watch it for Christmas. I would watch it over some of the other movies, but like
Oh, that's a compliment. You over Die Hard and 8 Crazy Nights, the worst animated Christmas movie ever
and the
to
non-Christmas
exist.
movie. I like Edward Scissorhands, and like it's more Christmassy than like either of those movies. Like it snows at the end, and
It takes place on Christmas.
but like you
There are
could
lights
literally
everywhere.
put it on any other day and it wouldn't change it.
I have it later on. We'll talk about it then. Well, wait though, but then if you apply that same thing to Die Hard,
Could put it on any day.
No.
And it wouldn't change.
it's a
the
holiday
movie.
party.
Ugh. So make it the 4th of July.
That's where security is light because it's Christmas.
So make it it could be any holiday. People have parties all the time.
Not with the same circumstances though.
Sure
Cops are not going to be as prevalent. There's low security. All the money, like all the rich folks are already going to be there. You have plenty of hostages. This is a sick train of thought to think about, I might add. But I'm gonna get into that later because my Bah Humbug list is gonna take us a while because it's kind of long.
Well, mine only has the 3.
I have both Miracle on 34th Street movies. They're cute.
I have the original one higher than the newer one.
The original one is, if you remember, I do the better ones going on. The original one is better than the remake. The remake feels a little too
It's depressing.
It's depressing to the point of are you just trying to make me feel bad because it?
Yeah, and I like both of those people. I love the cute little girl who plays Matilda.
Yeah,
and
I like Attenborough.
Yeah, they're both very good, but this the movie itself is just really sad.
The original is a little more uplifting.
Yeah, a little bit more uplifting.
The guy that plays Santa in that movie actually won an award for his portrayal of Santa. Fred Claus is kind of the same thing.
I just haven't seen it.
The idea is cute of Santa having a brother who's not really into the family business. This was during the decline of demand for Vince Vaughn. And I
still like.
This is also a movie where I'm kind of the trailer probably was, again, that super bright, soft, candy font.
Yeah.
From the director of Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn, Fred Claus.
And then after that, I have Jingle Jangle because I was actually really looking forward to that movie.
I have it a little higher up just because I really love the costumes and the music.
That's why I can't completely shun it away. There's effort in that movie. It just
I wanted it to be so much better.
It's too long.
It's really long.
It's too long and there's too much going on.
Yeah, there's one too many plot lines. There's two too many plot lines.
Yeah. After that, I have this. Like I said, this is where I'm gonna get you back. I have Holiday in Handcuffs.
That movie is adorable. Adorable.
If you believe that holding a man at gunpoint and kidnapping him for the holidays is adorable,
I think it's super cute. It's super cute.
What's her name? Not Reese Witherspoon.
We're gonna huff and puff about the kidnapping of that, but we're gonna put Die Hard higher. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because McClane is a good person. He's trying to get home to his daughter. Because they're going through a divorce and it's tough on his kid. All she wants is a family that's together.
Terrorists are fine, but
I wouldn't say they're fine. McClane and Alan Rickman don't fall in love by the end of the movie via Stockholm Syndrome.
No, he pushes him out of window.
Yeah, he does. It's great. What's her name? I only say
Melissa
Reese.
Joan Hart?
Thank you. It was driving me nuts. But she's one of those actresses that any script she touches manages to get elevated at least a little bit.
She's cute.
I've never been a fan of Mario Lopez.
Oh, that's because I liked Saved by the Bell and stuff. So
it just never clicked with me. It's how
he's not as good as her in
No.
the movie, but he is okay at playing that kind of arrogant.
It's how Jeff Winger feels about Paul Rudd.
Jerky guy. Oh.
Where it's I wouldn't stand in line for this. Nothing Mario. I think him hosting game shows is perfect for him. I don't think he belongs in movies or shows. So that honestly kind of grates me a little bit. Then I have Christmas Chronicles 2 because in the same sense as Jingle Jangle, I wanted it to be more.
I have that one just a little bit higher up, but it's right on that same kind of level.
I wanted it to be more.
Yeah.
There's a little too much going on and it's a little too long. And then I have the Mistletones.
I love the Mistletones.
I think that is a better soundtrack than it is a movie.
It's a cute movie. It's very Hallmark and it's totally fine.
Oh yeah, was it Hallmark or was it ABC?
No, it's ABC, but it has that Hallmark setup of that here's the thing, here's the girl, and then there's the kind of obnoxious guy, and then something happens, and then there's all these cute little friends, and then she makes friends, and then they get together and they sing Christmas songs the entire time. And also we get to watch Tori Spelling freak out at Mall Santa Claus in front of all the children, and that is hilarious.
Santa Claus 2 because I just every time because I've watched
It's good.
I've watched
It's
it.
fine.
I've watched it a few times, and every time that I watch it, at some point during the runtime, I always end up thinking to myself, I could be watching the Santa Claus instead,
which
which
also watched.
I find a little more charming.
The first one's always the best one.
Yeah, Origins. And then at the top of my bah humbug to end this little rant, this monologue, I have the Polar Express.
Polar Express.
Everyone jerks off to this movie
I love the book.
every year. The book is great. The book's
Super
fine.
Cute.
I
like it just fine.
like-
the animation is questionable.
was just gonna
but-
say, I like the Polar Express as long as I don't have to look at it, because everything about the visuals, I'm like, this did not. It's the
Yeah.
people.
It's the people.
It's
like
the people
all
that
of,
throws
like,
me
the
off.
bells and the animals and the presents and the
trains.
train and all the inanimate object kind of things. And
Yes.
the animals are fine. And
Because I can believe that stuff.
yeah, the people are a little bit weird.
It's weird. All right, moving on up to room temperature eggnog. I'm gonna throw it to you because you've got a longer list than I do.
I have Gremlins, which I love Gremlins. They're so cute, and it is definitely more Christmassy than some of the other movies. And like I have it over some actual Christmas movies like Jack Frost and the third
Yeah, because
Santa
Gremlins is
Claus.
good.
Gremlins is good. It is a good. It's still a good movie. Like you still leave that movie feeling pretty good, and it's pretty like.
Yeah.
You know, they learn a lesson, and there's a cute little creature, and
I'll talk about my feelings about Gremlins.
I
later.
love Gremlins. It's a super cute movie. It's just one of those ones that like if I don't watch it for Christmas, I'm not gonna be heartbroken, but I would put it on. Like if it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna like go out of my way to pick it necessarily. And then I have Krampus because I have similar feelings about that and Gremlins, where Krampus is a myth for Christmas. Like that is a Christmas myth of this,
That is an
creature
actual,
who,
like,
yeah, it's an
folktale.
actual folktale, yeah. And which I think is fine. And the movie itself is fine. Like it's okay, but it's not one that I'm like, yeah, I gotta watch Krampus. I love Adam Scott and all the people, and like the myth itself is actually pretty cool. It's a silly horror movie.
It is fairly silly.
It's pretty silly.
There's CGI gingerbread men running around.
There
with-
are, and
with
like little
candy
toys,
canes.
and yeah. But I think the idea of the movie is actually kind of cool. Like of the this creature. It's like the anti-Santa. Then I have Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
Which I like Ernest just fine, but I never was like a huge fan of Ernest growing up. That he wasn't something that I watched like all the time.
You wouldn't get upset as a kid if you didn't watch it.
Yeah. And like it's a cute movie. It's funny, but like it's also one of those movies too that is kind of stupid.
Oh, it's very stupid.
Like all of the Ernest movies are kind
They're
of
all stupid. Miak
yeah. Like
and Ernest Scared Stupid. Like, good lord.
which I actually like Ernest Scared Stupid probably more than I like
Oh
Ernest
yeah, me
Saves
too.
Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are all movies that I could throw on while I watch while I like wrap Christmas presents or like cook or whatever. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. That's holiday-y. I can throw that on. That's fine.
Yeah.
I have Christmas Chronicles 2 here, just because like it's still charming, and I love Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Like I love them. They're a real couple. Kurt Russell is a pretty dang good Santa Claus. But this movie was not as charming as the first one by any stretch of the imagination. And I put Jingle Jingle here too, just because I do love the music. The dancing is really good.
Yeah.
The costumes are so beautiful.
And I was hooked in the first like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
like,
I
I
was
was
really
in it,
I was really
yeah.
into it, and then I found myself checking my watch like 20 minutes later, like being like, wow, nothing has actually happened in a while.
Yeah, it's just they didn't need so many like conflicts in the movie.
No.
And it could have just been that like the thing about Christmas movies too is that there doesn't have to be some big bad guy.
No.
The conflict can be like growing as a person or learning to forgive or something
A
very
Christmas
cheesy.
Story is literally just a couple of days around December.
Yeah, like it does not have to be anything crazy. Like it just has to have like that charm and magic, whatever. I put the
remake
of
I see that,
Miracle on 34th Street in this one. I put Christmas with the Cranks here because I actually do throw this movie on whenever I do wrap presents to this movie fairly often because I don't have to pay attention. But it has like, it's one of those movies that like the colors of it and everything, it's very like wintry and you know what, and so like it gives me the vibe that I want while I'm wrapping and stuff like that. I put the second Santa Claus here just because like it's still cute. I'll still watch it. It's
got that girl from Lost in it.
It does.
It's showing actual emotion. That whole series is just
it's a sequel, but it's okay. It's still pretty cute. I still like Tim Allen.
And you have Love Actually.
And then I have Love Actually, which I really enjoy Love Actually, but it is also one where like it is an emotional sit.
Yeah. It's not as magical of a movie as some of the others on this list.
Yeah. So I have to like be in the right mood, and like I love a good story where it's all these different stories that kind of interact in some way without them knowing that they're interacting. And that because it's really cute. It's a very cute story, but it is an emotional sit, and so I'm always just like, oh, I don't know if I need that right now. You gotta
prep yourself up.
Yeah, I gotta be ready because I will cry.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
More than once, so I'm not always up for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
My cup of eggnog that's been sitting out for too long consists of, and this will be, I actually didn't know that you hadn't seen Bad Santa before.
I've never seen it.
Okay, well then this won't be as controversial of a choice than I thought it was going to be, because I think this movie is overrated. It's funny, don't get me wrong, but it's a gimmick movie where like, oh, we take the thing about Christmas and we just have them say swear words a lot. Oh, they're having sex on a pinball machine or something like that. Like,
that's not very
all right, that's it doesn't have to be Christmassy, it has to be creative. I'm like, but the same joke runs out of steam after a while, and the number one thing your comedy should be is funny.
Yeah.
And it is funny at times, but again, people who are like, oh, it's the best Christmas movie ever. I'm like, because it's a little different, or it's just face value different. Right. There is a distinct difference. Then I have Noelle, which also I think is perfectly fine.
It's a cute movie.
I think really that the reason I did a very strategic move here, I put Fred Claus just below and I did Noelle just above it because they're very similar about being about the Santa family business.
Sure, yeah. Which
it's just that Noelle does it better.
Similar to Fred Claus too, because it's like the brother doesn't want to be Santa.
Yeah. Except Noelle like
doesn't realize she's Santa.
Doesn't realize that she's Santa.
Yeah.
So it's different enough.
Yeah.
And the people involved are
funny. And,
yes.
And cute.
So everything about it is just a little bit better than Fred Claus is. I think that Noelle is the parallel universe version of Fred Claus. It just slipped into our universe by accident. Then I have Eloise at Christmas, decidedly right between them all, just because everything it does is right in the middle. Like everything it does, I'm like, great, cool. I also think of it as a Grinch reunion.
It's not a reunion because it was done first, but
well, I know, but I saw it after
yes.
the Grinch. So in my mind, that's how I always think of it as. Rise of the Guardians, I actually saw for the first time like the year before last.
Oh, really?
Or was it last year?
Yeah, it might have been last year.
When we watched it with
Jonathan Aaron.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I really like that movie. It's pretty cute.
I knew it existed.
I like the ideas.
Yeah, I like the ideas. Not all of it works.
And I like all the voice actors.
I like all the voice actors. Like I don't see, like when I look at the Tooth Fairy, I'm like, I don't see how you get Tooth Fairy from Hummingbird, but I'll roll with it. I like the Sandman.
Yeah, he's cute.
It has good ideas. Cute. It's just that
and I like their portrayal of Jack Frost probably the best out of.
Yeah, that's fair. Frost. It reminds me of an intern running from point A to point B with way too much stuff, and they keep dropping it. And every now and then they have to completely stop and like resituate themselves. They eventually get to where you think it's
gonna
where
go.
You need it to go. It's just that it the pacing kind of stops and goes. Then I have Scrooged, which is a perfectly fine movie.
Yeah.
It is not my favorite interpretation of the Christmas Carol.
I think it's pretty cute. Like
it's pretty cute, and honestly, like it's the kind of thing where if you casted anyone else in the lead, it would be a completely different movie.
Yeah, it would not be the same.
Some aspects of it being modernized, I think, work exceptionally well, and then there's some parts where I'm like, I would have done this a little differently. I noticed that with Scrooged in particular, I really don't care until the ghosts show up. And a good Christmas Carol movie, I care from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to put Mickey's Christmas Carol on here.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's one of my favorite versions,
that's a great
partially because
one.
it's so short.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only like, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, there's not much
long.
time to not be invested.
Yeah.
And then I have Joyous Noel just because, like,
I've never seen it.
it's based on true events.
Okay.
It is on a battlefield during World War I or II. And on Christmas Eve, I think it's France, Germany, and America all call in one particular battlefield. They call a ceasefire on Christmas Eve, and they come out from their bunks and they hold a vigil. They sing Christmas carols, and they show like pictures of like they actually like talk, which is a real thing that happens.
Okay.
And for me, like that's pretty Christmas.
Yeah.
That's really good. And then the complication then comes.
I've heard
well,
that
now
story.
the ceasefire is over. It's back to fighting,
war, yeah.
and now they have to sit there and be like, okay, but I know
like,
that.
Now I know him.
I know
He's
that
got
guy
a daughter.
now. Yeah.
We exchanged gifts.
And it becomes a very real like.
I don't
So
wanna do
what are
this
we
anymore.
actually fighting for? And it's actually pretty touching.
Yeah, because now we've learned we're all people.
Yeah, and for me, that the only reason it isn't higher up on the list is because there's a weird subplot of this, like, it's kind of like we were saying before. It's like we don't necessarily need a villain in Christmas movies. We didn't need a villain in Joyous Noel. There's this like weird like revenge obsessed brother who like kisses his dead brother's face all the time.
Weird.
And he like obsessively hunts. Didn't need that plot line at all. And then it keeps cutting back to like high fancy society talking about the war. And I get what they're doing, but it just kind of bogs. Like I'm not as interested in that part. And then they stop the war part and they just focus on that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of loses the meaning. So it's a little lower on the list for me.
Okay. Cool.